We bout that business, boy, we bout that business. It get real up in that field, but got built bout that business, that business, boy, we bout that business. This all hustle, this ain't luck, lady buck, about that business, that business. We trending on retreat, we bout that business, all we know is win, ain't no defeat. We bout that business, competition can't compete. We bout that business, I'm number one, I feel it in my cleats. Hey, we got facts, we got stats, not to mention trending topics. You the champ, no that's cap, drilling, killing all the guys. Please don't try that, boy, you know we hotter, boy, making all kind of noise. We on fire, what you know about them Ohio boys? We bout that business, boy, we bout that business. It get real up in that field, but got built bout that business, that business, boy, we bout that business. This all hustle, this ain't luck, lady buck, about that business, that business. We trending on retreat, we bout that business, all we know is win, ain't no defeat. We bout that business, competition can't compete. We bout that business, I'm number one, I feel it in my cleats.
Yeah, we going off tonight. Testing 1, 2.
What's happening,
I got the whole crew with me today.
Ooh.
Blue Nitty in the house.
What's the deal? What's the deal?
How you feeling?
Man, hey, let me tell you something real quick. And that intro gets me every time. I love it, man. Let's get it.
Hey, listen, I tell you what, man. Wow, so many things have came up just in the last 2 to 3 days. That has been just, I mean, outrageous.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're not going to be able to get to all those topics. Now, you as a viewer, if you want to chime in and you want to speak your piece on certain things that has happened, we can talk. If you want to talk about the Sorsby deal with the NCAA about gambling. If you want to talk about that Carmelo Anthony situation as a track star, and wow, that was deep.
Yeah.
If we want to talk about this NBA Finals, upcoming draft for the NBA, your favorite football, basketball, baseball team, bring it. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. The WNBA is in full effect right now.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of the WNBA, I want you to be able to express your views, express your excitement about this season that's going on currently. Who's your team? Who's your favorite player? This is what's going on right now. So tell me, Blue Nitty, what's on the agenda for us tonight, baby?
Well, I just thought maybe that, first off, I want to say hi, Tamara, and our strategist, our social media strategist. Shout out to her. She a part of the team, and she a part of the dream. So we're gonna go with a head full of steam. Anyway, I thought we would start out with I gotta talk to Rough Buck.
Come on.
Because I mean, a heck of a game with the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know what kind of food. I'm just gonna say food. I'm trying to behave. I don't know what kind of food they had in New York or whatever, but I mean, whatever it was, whatever Castle them ate, they still, they brought it. You know what I'm saying? Wemby beating on his chest like he King Kong. We're starting to see, the Spurs that we know show up. But at the same time, you still got Big Body Brunson. You got the Cat. You still got Hart. I mean, they left it all on the floor, regardless of anything. You know what I mean? They still balled out. But I don't know. Well, but I'm seeing some stuff now that that we didn't see before. Did they solve the riddle? And we'll let you take over the floor.
Well, first of all, it was a heck of a game last night. I give my hats off to San Antonio Spurs. They came to play. And for some reason, that game was off by a little bit last night. So when I was watching it, I'm looking at these fouls. I said, golly, bro, you standing right there. What, you a spectator or you a referee? Because that blatant foul, Wemby mushed Brunson and pushed him down. They ain't going to have another laugh at him. Castle saying, he was coming across the middle. Castle plowed him and knocked him down. I was like, golly, ref, what's going on here? But believe me, there's no excuse for my team. They should have came prepared to play. They knew what was going on. They knew that atmosphere was going to be kind of different because of a certain president that was there. What that did was it took away from the watch party. It took away from the fans getting to the arena earlier than expected. I mean, they had barricades all throughout the whole stadium. So, I mean, this is something we got to adjust to. I mean, we have no excuses. Wemby did his thing last night. I give him that.
Man, listen up, man. Come on, man. Come on. First of all, understand one thing and two things for sure. They found a chink in the armor. Okay? If Big Body Bronson, who I like and I admire a lot as a 6'2" guard, dribbles the ball like James Harden, they gonna lose.
Well,
no. They gonna lose.
Well,
okay. Until they readjust, they go back, and they look at the film and see where the ball's supposed to be distributed from. And remember, if you remember, when Cat was actually the catalyst of starting the offense, Bronson was getting out free. Okay, because now the focus was on Cat, and so 2 or 3 eyes or 6 eyes was on Cat. They only had one person chasing Bronson. Now they got 3 or 4 players chasing Bronson because he got the ball in his hand. He's dribbling like James Harden.
We'll see.
That's the one. That's the first thing. Okay. Second thing, I think they lost their intensity. They did not bring that defense and that tenacity that they played in those first 12, 13 games.
Well, see, let me tell you something about that. When you referees aren't calling the plays or fouls, it kind of takes away from the game. Because now you're looking at.
Man, stop that.
I'm telling you right now.
No, stop that.
Listen, no, I will not.
In the 80s, what you saw last night.
This is a different.
That was like Cat's play, man. Bro.
Okay,
different with that, bro.
You
can't use that. You can't use that excuse.
I can't use that because you know what?
Let him cook.
The reason why I say that, they would never have, back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, they would never kick those guys out. They would never say no flagrant 1, flagrant 2. They just say, hey, here's a technical foul. Go sit down somewhere. Nowadays, you bump a person the wrong way. Oh, it's a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2. So now you got to look at, I'm getting kicked out of the game. These are the type of things you got to think about when you're watching these games play. They're sitting there saying, wow, okay, so if they foul us like this and they're not getting no calls and we get every call calling us, what's the point?
Oh, well, no, man, stop.
Hold on.
Okay, so the second game, the same thing was still happening. Okay? But you as a fan and all fans didn't say anything about it because why? Then they won.
Listen,
okay.
Why?
Now you complain.
No,
about physical play in the third game because y'all lost.
Well, I'm not saying that. You
can't have it both ways, man.
I'm just saying the facts of what the fouls were. But what I'm saying,
I just told you the facts. The fact is that it still happened. They've been playing that way.
The first thing I said was I'm not going to make excuses for my team. We did not come to play. We got down and we were like, dang, it wasn't there. Now the Knicks bring the ruckus, and that top of that Madison Square Garden should have came off last night, but for some reason they didn't do it.
Okay, well, you know, and listen, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because you know I was literally all in with the Knicks last night.
I was too.
Okay, I mean that first half, you know, and they were up by the halftime. They was up by 6 points.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, but something changed in that locker room, bro. Something happened when they came out in the second half, and in both locker rooms, either the Knicks thought that they actually had the game in hand, or the Spurs said, we got to take this game back.
You know what it was?
One or the other.
Better shot selection by Spurs.
I think the Spurs felt like they ain't have nothing to lose.
There's no pressure on them.
And the Knicks, these grown men that we talk about that with experience, they got tight.
Yeah, they did.
Now, it had nothing to do with the president being there. That's a curse. But it had nothing to do with him actually being there. I think it had everything to do with the atmosphere.
Right.
The New York fans, whether it was because the president was there or not, didn't bring it like they usually bring it.
Well,
so there was no ruckus. There was no ruckus in the stands, and you know you had too many celebrities there. First of all, they sitting there just trying to be seen. There was no true fans there. There was no true fans out there in the parking lot. It just didn't seem right.
Well, see, first of all, let me tell you something. You know, by me being in the military, the way I was in it, you have presidents come to your base. And when they come to the base, they shut everything down. I mean, they shut the highways down. They have top-notch security. You know, they have everybody out there just so nothing goes wrong. So it could have, but I hope you don't show up the next game. I'll tell you that for sure.
Well, I mean, you got to understand the why he even showed up, though, bro.
Well, the reason why.
I mean, he's the first sitting president to ever go to a finals game. And Barack came to games. He went to games. He did
after his presidency,
but not a finals.
Well, see, the thing with that.
I understand that that Trump grew up per se in the New York area and everything, but he disrupted the whole mojo.
Well, see, the thing
and I think that it's okay for him to cheer for your team and everything like that, but he needs to stay away from that team.
I'm telling you,
completely.
All right, then let Ruff Buck. You had something to say, Ruff?
Yeah, you know, it's I think he wanted to do that because he wanted to be the first person to sit, or president to say, "I was the first one to do it." You know, that's another notch under his belt. That's all it is. If it was somebody else, he would have never been there.
Yeah, he didn't go to the hockey games.
He didn't do none of that.
Nope. But let me interject. Okay, I will say this. You were right about the crowd, Buckeye Bill. But one thing that you gotta mention is how the Spurs controlled the crowd. Yeah. And the Knicks didn't give the crowd the crowd some things to cheer for towards the end. You know what I'm saying? So that had a lot to do with it, because every time the Knicks looked like they was going Big Body Brunson was going to take over, the Spurs would say, "No, we ain't letting you do that." You know what I'm saying? And
no, Castle said no.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. I was going to get to that. But but the main thing is they realize that they're in a dogfight, and this team, the Spurs, is not going away. Like I said, because see, one thing is their youth is saying, we're not intimidated. We're going to come in your house. We're going to eat your porridge, discipline your kids. although they didn't do all that, they
They grabbed the remote control. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, they grabbed the remote. You know what I'm saying? But they took over. You know what I'm saying? So, but the game is the next game. The next game is gonna tell the tale. Now, the Knicks, they got to turn it up a couple more notches.
That's what they're gonna do.
And are they gonna be in San Antonio or are they gonna be in?
No, it's two. It's
gonna go back to Knicks.
They have one more game, and then they go to San Antonio. Here's the issue with what they can do, and this should be the strategy of Mike Brown. Okay, we've lost the third game. We're still 2-1, and this is what kills me about Knicks fans. Knicks fans act like they've actually lost the whole series because they lost one game.
No,
I understand that you wanted a sweep and yada yada yada, but that's not what money looks like. Money don't look like a sweep.
If we go back,
so what I'm trying to say is, even though the game went lopsided for the Knicks, they can still win this fourth game,
right?
Take it back to San Antonio and win it in San Antonio, or lose that game and bring it back to the Garden. Okay, in the sixth for the sixth game. So they can win. They can lose 2 in a row, and it wouldn't hurt them because you're coming back to the Garden to win it all.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the strategy. I don't know. I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't chance it. Just to try and win the game in the Garden. Because again, just like Nitty said, those youngsters, they're oblivious. They're not phased. They feel like they act like they going to an AAU game.
Right.
Let's do this. Those grown-ups that's playing for the Knicks, there's so much pressure on them from the city, from the president, from just their history. They're starting to feel it, and they need to let that go and just play basketball.
I wouldn't say that.
Go ahead, Buck.
I wouldn't say. I mean, they got played last night, but that will not happen 2 times in a row. I can promise you that. So if we have to go back to San Antonio to win it, that's what we're going to do. We're going to dance downtown at the Riverwalk. We're going to hit the Alamo Dome and go over and take over that. We're going to do everything. But I wanted to come back to New York so we could celebrate at home. That's what I want. But who am I? I'm just
only way for that to happen is for them to lose 2 in a row.
I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row.
So if you want a celebration in New York, you got to wish that your team loses twice. You feel me?
I feel you. I feel you.
I'm not saying you as a fan.
Oh no, I know what you're saying.
But me as a spectator, I wanted to go 6 and 7.
Yeah.
I want the Spurs to win 2 more games.
Hey.
I wanted to be tied up coming back to New York.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I wanted to be tied up.
I said
not even tied up. It won't be tied up if they win. If they lose, it'll be tied up.
Yeah.
It'll be tied up coming for the 6th game. Right?
Yeah. But we got to handle our business.
Hold on, what would you like? What would you like? To go ahead and them to go ahead and beat them tomorrow and go into San Antonio and beat them again.
Yeah.
Y'all celebrate at the crib. Well, you don't care because you ain't in New York.
No.
So it means absolutely nothing to you. And just win in San Antonio, celebrate.
Yeah.
And it'll be done. Because the most important thing, guys, is you have to have a West or an East Coast team as a champion in order for it to truly be relevant like a Minnesota, OKC, San Antonio, even Dallas, winning the NBA championship don't mean nothing to fans for a whole year.
Hey,
Very boring.
I'm glad you said
But
that.
if the Knicks win, we'll be talking about the Knicks all year long.
I'm going to the store to get my champagne. But go ahead, Diddy.
No, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. I was trying to get you whatever it was you had on your mind right then. I wanted you to go ahead and say it before you forget it.
Man, I just think that I want them to get this over with. I do. I don't want to chance anything to happen because, like I know, it's a 50-50 chance. So to eliminate that, I would rather them get this out the way, come back home and celebrate, and go from there. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I me as a fan, I just ain't ready for the NBA season to be over. So however it fall out. I want it to go 7. You know what I mean? But I mean, if they tap out early, I'm cool with that. But I just ain't ready for it to be over with. And with that being said, I was gonna pivot topics.
Okay.
To the WNBA.
Let's go.
Because my Fever was in a dogfight, and I couldn't watch them like I wanted to because I was watching the game, the Knicks game. And it's something, I don't know if it's something in the water, but these teams that used to be like, I don't know, I mean, they weren't very good. Now I don't even think it's any Babbage teams in the WNBA right now. I mean, because like the expansion team, the Portland Tempo, I think they call them. They balling. The Valkyrie, and we ain't gonna talk about the champs. You know what I mean? That goes without saying. But I'm gonna swing it back to my Fever because it went down. It was a dogfight, and it went down to the seconds. And that Caitlin Clark, she been struggling with her shots and everything, but they gave her the shot, and she sunk a 30-footer, 3-pointer to win the game.
Now remember this. Throughout the whole game, she was struggling. She has no defense in her arsenal at all.
No.
Okay.
Period.
Well, when she launched that 30-footer, I was like Steph Curry turned around, was like, that's in. That's in right there. It just felt like that was in. And it was a dagger. Yeah. It was a dagger. But she needs to really, really hone her skills, get back into the lab mentally and physically so she can be the kind of player that we actually know and believe that she can be. Quit being Luka and arguing with the refs and coaches and all that, and just focus on basketball.
Well,
don't worry about what they saying on the court. Don't worry about what they saying in the media. Just get focused back on basketball. And I'll tell you, if she does that, she's going to be spectacular.
Well, see, what happened last night was she played it, as my coach said back in high school, she played that Olay defense. You know, when the Bulls are charging, they had a red towel. Olay. You know, let them go by. That's what she was doing. She's not going to try to get on fouls, but what I'm saying to you, yes, she did struggle, but check this out. That right there, that 3-point shot that she made to win the game, it boosts her confidence. So now she's going to be more hungry than she was before.
Well, I hope so, because I need more of that and less of her talking.
Oh, she's going to do that.
I need way more of that and less of her talking.
Well, see,
you know what I'm saying?
Yep, but a part of that, her talking, her moxie and everything, that's a part of her game.
And I know it gets her motivated, but what I'm saying is I think it's a distraction for her also. And her
I
coach
think
told her just the same.
and I agree, and I feel like that she needs to tone it down a little bit, you know what I mean? But she is still learning.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about it. And she has her eyes wide open, is what people fail to realize. You know what I mean? And when it came to the coach and the coaching situation, I like the way they played it. I know that the PR staff has been working, and I like what she said about her coach. She's there for her coach. She, the main thing is sometimes you have to put a facade up because you know that she's done already had a coach fired. You know what I mean?
She has to throw the attitude away.
But see, I will say this in her defense, that coach backbone was jellyfish. That's why she's no longer there. Now the coach
you said that last time, but play your game though. Play your game.
Yeah,
that's it.
But that's what I'm saying. The coach she got now, she got a player coach, and that has won titles. So with that being said, sometimes things are going to spill over a little bit. Like, for example, the situation, it didn't spill over, and I like the way they kept a lid on it, but you can tell within Angel Reese's play, when she played for the Chicago Sky, that her time was limited.
Yep.
You can tell when that new coach came in that they wasn't
gelling together.
Yeah, they wasn't gelling together. It wasn't the right fit. So, but I'm glad. Look, you can say a lot of things about Angel Reese, but the way she played that wasn't no bad mouthing dude in the media. Not really. You know what I mean? She played it like she's supposed to play. But see, that's the thing that you don't hear about Angel Reese either. So, but back to Kaylin. Kaylin still has some growing up to do. Yes. Everybody knows that. She's still learning. She's still a little wet behind the ears. But she
better watch her back, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because they already got her replacement.
Man.
Yeah, so she better watch. I mean, she can hit a 3-point, but they've got someone that's spelling her right behind her can play both ways.
Yeah.
She just better be cautious of how she interacts and represents the organization.
Yeah, but because she I think she realized now that she's expendable just like everybody else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because for the simple fact that the player we talking about, ladies and gentlemen, in case you was wondering, is Raven Johnson.
Yes.
She is the caliber player on and off the court, the way she carries herself. You don't hear no bad things about Raven Johnson.
Nothing.
But one thing you will, one thing you're going to hear and you're going to see eventually, because somebody's going to try to test Raven Johnson, and that's a class that they don't want to sign up for.
Right.
Real talk. Her temper is worse than her dad's, which is James Jones. James Johnson of the Pacers. But with Raven Johnson, she will shoot a shot. And I've seen this with my own eyes. She will shoot a shot. Maybe maybe it's a shot that I don't care for. But one thing about her, she's going to pick up the ball. Wherever the ball lands, whoever gets the rebound.
Oh, no, she follows her shots.
Yeah, she do.
Yeah, she does. But I'm saying if she doesn't get the rebound, she's automatically on defense.
Yep. Hitting the other way.
Some players she pick up 94 feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some players she pick up a little bit above half court. Now, see, Kaylin need to her and Kaylin need to work out together, and Kaylin need to work on her defense.
Now, let me ask you a question, Blue and Buckeye Bill. I want your input too. Do you think it's the way she was coached in college versus Caitlin Clark being coached in college? Because when Caitlin Clark, man, when she was at Iowa, she was known as a scorer. She was not made for no defense. So so Raven Johnson, she played for South Carolina, had a whole different mindset with the coach that said, hey, you're going to hustle, you're going to play both sides of the floor. So do you think coaching staff had to play a factor in this?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Wow.
I say no because for the simple fact that it's not just the coaching. Let's go all the way back to when she was growing up and when she was the way she went about, hooping. Because you have her, which she did grow up the right way. She did grow up hooping and everything. She hooped with the fellas, blah blah blah. But when you have a NBA dad like James Johnson, and the way Raven grew up, you know what I'm saying? She grew up working out. She grew up
as a professional.
Right.
And she also grew up with battling her brother. It has a lot to do with it. Her brother was a decent ball player.
Right.
And she grew up battling him, and that was one of her idols too. So when she figured out that she can beat him, and they didn't pull no punches with her.
No. I mean,
and then we go back to Caitlin. She grew up in a cocoon. Okay, now she has excellent skills.
Yes.
With shooting the ball, but as far as being coachable, as far as being a team player and or leader, she has less to be desired on those levels. And those are the things that coaching, whether it was AAU growing up, college, and now the WNBA, these coaches have to take her to the side, and they got to get a grip on her. Because at the end of the day, team is team. An individual, you can't be an individual until you get to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there's no I in team.
You see what I'm saying? That's the only time you can be an individual on a team game, on the team sports, is when you make it to the Hall of Fame. So right now, you got to be in the team structure and make the team better so the team can make you better. And that's what the coaches have to keep pushing towards her. She's great now, but she can be better. She can definitely be better.
But how do you break that cycle?
As a follower, as a defensive player, hell, even as a scorer, she can be better.
She can be better,
so
but
I'm just looking forward to her growth. I'm looking forward to watching the WNBA. Finish their season and then play these playoffs, because the playoffs are going to be on fire.
Yeah, but
the playoffs are going to be on fire.
She's setting her ways and how she plays and how she acts on the court. She's setting her ways because she got away with it for so long. But she's young enough to change, though, bro. She's young enough to change and grow. But they brought her there for that reason. Because she's popular. She scores. She did everything. But it's got to be in you if you want to take it to the next level. It's got to be in you.
I'll say this. Excuse me for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
I'll say this. It's in her. And because, she was leading Iowa. So she does have leadership qualities. I just think she lost herself for a second with dealing with the injuries, coming back from injuries, and dealing with the mental aspect. Plus, we know, and I'm quite sure she know, that she got somebody chomping at her heels too that could possibly replace her.
Yeah.
So, but I'll say this too. It's got a little bit to do with it too. There is a difference when you grow up in Iowa and then you grew up in South Carolina or wherever Ravens are. There is a difference between regular basketball, recreational basketball, and hood basketball.
Yeah, you right about that. There's a difference.
Hood basketball, you have to play defense.
That's the alley ball right there, boy. You don't even know where it's coming from.
You have to play defense because if you don't and you get cooked,
They're gonna
you
talk
will not
about you
hear.
bad.
Man, they're gonna dog you out.
They're gonna
And
roast you.
they're gonna be talking about you at Thanksgiving. Then you're gonna go over to your buddy crib. They're gonna be talking about you then. There's a difference, and
I'll give
that's
you
the
that.
difference between Caitlin and Raven. Now, that's why I said,
And Angel
Caitlin,
Reese, because she's from Baltimore, buddy.
Yeah, Angel Reese.
She's
oh,
from
well, if you
Baltimore,
was, hey,
son.
we wasn't even gonna go there because you know what I'm saying. You know what she went through.
Yeah,
I mean, she started out in Maryland.
that's
Right.
what I was just about to say. That she started from Maryland.
Started
then
out in
South
Maryland.
Carolina.
The college, and then she, it didn't go as planned. So not only did you have her going through what she went through in Maryland of the actual setup, you had the setup, and then you had whatever was going on that transpired within that team that caused her to where she wanted to go to LSU.
Yeah.
Mentally.
She had the talent at Maryland, bro.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is this. When you go through something, like I said, hood basketball on and off the court, let me say this. And your environment has a lot to do with things. Like if you got the environment where, you don't really got to fight for nothing because they know who you are. Versus,
right.
Or you come home to the farm. But when you got dealing with something like when you come home to neighborhoods and stuff like that happen that in Baltimore and in Maryland and that whole environment. Yeah. When you got to make it out of that makes you a better player. And I'm not knocking Caitlin.
Living on the farm. Okay.
Hold on.
But here's the other caveat behind that. We keep saying that Caitlin Clark is a cerebral basketball player. She thinks with her brain. She thinks all of them do. And you have to. You know what I'm saying? The amount of skills that it takes, because you can't do it and I can't do it neither. Mm-hmm. None of us would be able to start in the WNBA. Mm-hmm. None of us, including the ex-basketball player, Rough Buck, would not be able to start in the WNBA. Trust me on this one. Now, he might be a practice team player, but he wouldn't be able to start.
I fell out.
Yeah.
Hey, look though, there's a difference between the concrete jungle and the farm. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between the two. So, like you said, different atmospheres, different cultures, and so I just think that you're right. I mean, one wanted it. I mean, they both want it. Don't get me wrong. I should have never said that, but it was just like, how do they connect bridges and help each other out to become this super dynamic team? Because you got to have a Batman and Robin.
Well, and one of the things that this is what I want to keep cherishing about the WNBA, and hopefully all the sports, that there's a sisterhood in the WNBA.
Right.
And the majority of those young ladies and women, grown women too, they love each other. You know what I'm saying? They what you call a collective, they're a collective. They're in this all together. They play hard as crap against each other.
Yeah.
But I bet you they can call and say, hey, such had a baby. You need to come over here and bring these flowers. You see what I'm saying? So there's some camaraderie amongst them that gives you a little bit more hope.
Right.
For the next generation of players, that they're not coming into a hostile environment, that you do have some real women who want to cultivate not just their league, but the young ladies that's coming behind them. So,
Hey,
if that makes sense.
It's gonna be plenty because now, as technology is better, so the players get better. They have different machines out there. They can test your endurance. They can test what your weaknesses are, what you're good at. I mean, even to your form of your shot. Think of all that stuff, man. You can look at and see that, hey, this was going to improve you for the next level.
Also, I wanted to let you, this coming up college season, I want y'all to watch North Carolina State. It's a guard by the name of Cam Jones.
Okay.
I've been watching her for a few years. I just picked back up watching her again. But
did she transfer someplace?
Say what?
Was she a transfer or she's been there all along?
I think she's been there all along. But
okay,
what I want to say is she's the total package. She got a high IQ when it comes to basketball.
Send me that, man. DM me with that so I can research it.
Yeah, Cam Jones, right? You said.
I will.
All right, because I'm gonna see some YouTube video on her.
Oh, yeah. You will. You
all
will.
Right.
They got it out there, but I'm saying she's gonna make a lot of noise this coming up season, and I wanted to give y'all a heads up.
Okay.
But
I remember you said that.
I
remember you said that.
She was working out before Paige
Becker.
Yeah. She worked out with her and taught her one of her patent moves.
Oh wow! So
you know what I'm saying? So
the fans can know, how did you come across this? What made you look into this? What caught your eye?
Just looking up different people, different females that's in elementary school, high school. I did the same thing with Raven Johnson.
Right.
I did the same thing with
FloJ?
Malaysia Fuwali.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You know, yeah. I just go through to see who's gonna make a lot of noise, a lot of it's been I see reels and I look them up. Like okay. I see they did something, spectacular, and I do the leg work. I also follow a lot of local people, here that making a little bit of noise that I will be revealing through the course of the season when they come up on the season and everything. Right. I still got to give my boy a shout out. My fault. He's over there with Coach Mike Bibby.
Oh yeah. Okay.
At Sac State. So I like to give a shout out to my boy because he's gonna be something decent. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say he's gonna. Yeah, he was born in Muncie, but he made his bones in North Carolina. His name is Ashton Pierce. He's a combo guard, and he has a high basketball cube. And I see this last year he showed a little moxie. Used to he was kind of humble. He's showing a little bit of moxie, and I like that in him. But he's highly intelligent, on and off the court. He's like I said, he's a combo guard. And Mike Bibby them been to like 2 or 3 of his games. He also trained and used to play for Chris Paul.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
So I just wanted to give show my little homie some love.
Okay.
So and hopefully in the future we'll have him on about that business.
That'd be cool.
Hey, listen, let's see about this business, man, because it's been eating at me for the last 2 days.
Okay.
And I really want to hear from the both of you guys on the Sorsby allegation. Well, it's not even an allegation. He said that he betted on his team.
Yeah.
Okay. There's an injunction which allows him to play for Texas Tech. Let's do a little background. He was a freshman at Indiana. He betted on Indiana to win and or lose. They estimated he bet over $90,000. A freshman, a 17, 18-year-old. Okay? So that means he was already betting when he was 16, when he was younger.
Right.
He's already into this. He didn't just show up at Indiana and say, "Oh, I just want to bet money." and
yeah.
My question though is, if he betted on Indiana to win or lose, or other teams while he was at Indiana, when he transferred to Cincinnati, was he still doing it?
Hey, only God knows. God knows.
Right, and until Cincinnati reveals it, because Cincinnati don't want to reveal that.
No.
Because then they'll be sanctioned, okay, for the amount of time that he spent there. So all of this politics, you got Saban and all them talking about the NIL and transportal and all this. But you don't hear them really talking about this particular incident about betting on college, sports in general. But think about this. He's not the only one that's doing it.
No. He's just the only one that got caught right now.
So what is your question?
So they got two options. They need to let these kids go ahead and bet, win or lose or draw on the game. Okay? Because the faculty, well, I ain't saying the coaches is, that's kind of shady, but I think they have. And I know the administrators and the governors, they all bet. Everybody bet something on a game.
But see, what it does,
whether it's a cup of coffee, whether it was a this, whether it was a that. There's always a bet on a game.
It changes the integrity of the sport itself for college football. Now, see, here's the thing with him. Now, see, I don't know if you heard this or not, but the first 2 games he's going to be suspended. And the 2 games he's going to be suspended against the Abilene Christian and Oregon State.
Right.
So after that, now the NCAA does not agree. They disagree with the ruling. They disagree with that. So there could be more to come from that, because just because his lawyer, spoke for him, that
okay, let me stop you though. Is that enough? Are those 2 games enough for betting on his own team and betting on sports? Is that enough?
No, it's not enough. Me personally, like they do any other coach, like Pete Rose, that would play baseball, and
he would be banned.
He was banned, and I just think that when you do that and get caught, you should be out of there. There should be no coming back.
Here's the biggest problem: the judge that gave the injunction, graduated from Texas Tech Law School.
Yep.
The appeals court, there's like 4 or 5 of them. They're all on that appeals court in Amarillo.
Yep.
They all graduated from Texas Tech. They're going to allow this boy to play. Okay? But here's the bigger issue. Are these other teams going to forfeit games to make a point? Okay, because because in conjunction, if they all do it, that one loss against Texas Tech is not going to hurt them for the playoffs if they don't play them. So say, for instance, they're on the schedule. They're on the schedule to play at Penn State or Ohio State.
Right.
And they don't, and Ohio State says, yeah, well, I think we're going to pass on that game. I don't think that, and then, and they're playing Texas. And are they playing Georgia? And all of those teams sustain from if they agree, because they all have to agree not to play them, that won't be a blemish on their actual schedule and their win percentage.
Well, in my mind, this is just me. If they do that, now you got to look. Now, everything's sports betting now. That's going to mess up what's going on in Vegas or wherever they bet from. It's going to mess that up. It's going to mess up the integrity of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what, as us fans, we get geeked up to watch Ohio State play. Now, I just think we don't watch them play. Now, what we looking at now, like, golly, them boys ain't playing tonight, or they're not playing during the day. So if anybody else does the same thing, it's going to take away sports altogether.
Well, let me say this. First off, we have to, in any situation like this, when it comes to legal situation, we have to use, even though it's already out there, and I mean the proof is in the pudding, we still have to say allegedly.
No, he said it.
Buckeye Bill.
He said he did it. He's in recovery.
I understand what you're saying, and listen to what I'm saying though. For legal purposes, we have to still say alleged.
Right.
No matter what.
Well, allegedly, he said it.
Yeah, you can say it like that. But also, I disagree with the ruling that he. I mean, it's a slap on the wrist. But the thing is, Buckeye Bill, I'm surprised you didn't hit on this because you be hitting on this. They know that if they mess with the gambling, if they start messing around with the people and they start cracking down on it, it's going to mess up the gambling. That's going to mess up money, and they don't want you to do that.
I agree, and see, this is where it comes with the contracts with all the streaming, the NBC, ABC, all of the affiliates that are involved in that big ESPN in those big contracts. There has to be, listen, if they want to continue to have, because I don't want to watch a game thinking there might already be an outcome to it.
Mm-hmm.
The suspense as a fan is my team's gonna play your team. My team is better than your team, and you think your team is better than mine. But
that's when it gets tricky.
Huh?
It gets tricky like that. Let me tell you why. There's some times I can look at a football game or whatever sport I'm watching. I'm like, something seems off in this game today. Something seems off. Or throw a pass to he fumble a pass. You know what I'm saying? When he knows he's got a sure hand.
Well, I mean, but as a fan, you always feel that way.
Yeah.
But you don't want it to be slapped in your face with it. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, so you're finding out that referees are gambling.
Oh yeah.
The parents of players are gambling. Players are gambling. Administrators are gambling. The boosters are gambling.
Yep. The student. Yeah. Boosters. Yeah. All of them.
Right. You can't get away from the gambling because, again, like I said, the boosters might not gamble money. They already got money. So they might gamble a horse away. Like, yo, I got this horse. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but it's still the same thing that this young man did.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of like addicted to gambling. We gamble when we get in the car.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We gamble when we walk across the street, even if you got the green light.
Right.
We're always gambling.
Man, life's a gamble.
Right. So
I
don't know how they can. I don't know what they can do. And the NCAA should be dismantled. It has no teeth. It don't even have what do you call those things that you pull out?
Mouth guard.
Huh?
Mouth guard.
No, not the mouth guard, but the thing itself.
Dentures.
Dentures. They don't even have dentures. All they got is gums.
Well, they better drink some soup.
Lady Buck, what's going on? What's going on? You got something to say?
She popped. Here she go.
There she go.
You on mute, baby.
Come off mute. Let's hear your voice.
No, I didn't have nothing to say. I didn't have
Okay,
nothing
well,
to say.
just while you're on, what's your take on the gambling issue in general?
I think that it needs to be met with the appropriate consequence.
Yeah.
Period. I don't care how many was done, how much money, this and that and the other. Because if it's not met with the appropriate consequence, you're sending a message and saying, hey, it's okay if we do this. Even though we know it's probably being done. We know that,
Right.
and he's one that got caught. But when you're not given the correct consequence, you're letting it be known that it's okay.
That's exactly right. That's why I said
and that's
the integrity of the game.
Yeah, the whole integrity. And like you said too, Buckeye Bill and Rough Buck, all three of you said it. It takes the fun out of being a fan.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to know the outcome or kind of guess the outcome or even try to think, kind of like it takes me back to the Ohio State Clemson game, the game that we should have won.
Yes.
That was a game that is still in question. And it takes the fun out of being a fan on both sides. Clemson fans, because you guys really didn't win that game. And so, you really didn't know what you really had. The refs helped. And then Buckeye fans, we were distraught. We saw it. And then years later, it comes out. It comes out that, hey, there may have been some monkey business going on. But we all knew that. Yeah, we knew that, though. So they need to stop this. This is where they make an example if they do the right thing. But from what I'm hearing, doesn't appear that that's happening. I guess we'll just keep watching for it to develop. But no, there needs to be a consequence.
But see, my thing is this: with the consequences, is there going to be? Now they already suspended the guy for 2 games. Now, does the NCAA come back and say, "Hey, you know what? You can't practice with him. You can't do that with him until we see fit"? Those are still out there for that.
No, they've already sanctioned. They already said he can't play.
Right.
But the injunction is the fact that he's saying you can play. That judge ruled. They put it in the judge's hand. The NCAA don't have no teeth. The NCAA, instead of shutting it down when they had the opportunity to do it, they couldn't do it. They went to Congress asking Congress to do something about it. Okay? What? Wait a minute. What was Congress going to be able to do for the next 10 years? It takes Congress 40 years just to figure out how. Never mind. I was going to say, never mind.
Yeah.
Period. So you can't lay it in Congress's hands because it'll be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, because it's never
when they gave it to the judge, because see, this is a fishy part. This is what's killing me. The guy actually did this in Indiana.
Yeah.
So if he did it in Indiana, then why isn't he in Indiana in court?
Good question.
He should be in Indiana in court.
See, that's
not in Texas.
Yeah.
He did it in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it should reside, is in Indiana.
They don't want to take away their championship. That's what it is.
They don't listen. But here's the problem. Just him playing does not guarantee that they'll make it through the playoffs or to the championship.
Well, let me say this.
So why are you wasting this kind of money when you got an Ohio State out there, you got an Oregon out there, you got all these powerhouse teams that they have to get through a Texas, and you gonna waste your time on this guy and you think about this, his head's messed up.
Oh yeah.
So he ain't like, oh hey, I'm good. No, he's not. There's too much on his plate in order for him to really focus on football. You know, and all he's thinking about is just make it through this season so I can go to the NFL. Where's the other obstacle? The NFL might not want you.
That's it. You betting on this team for college. What you think you're gonna do in the
Yeah. And he's making $5 million this year for Texas Tech. Right now, he's making $5 million in rehab. Come on, bro. Make it make sense.
Well, I'll say this too. I want to see what legal action is taken against him. I mean, I know everybody ruled and everything, but again, it goes back to, like I said, what happened with Pete Rose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And see, hold on, Buckeye, before you say anything. They are cracking down on gambling across the board because what they basically saying is they're trying to cripple the mob because the mob got a hand in it and everything, and the cheating and the scandal stuff like that. But to go back to,
but they've always had, so you can't just blame it on the mob.
No, I'm not blaming it on the mob.
No, you can't.
No, we're not. But Buckeye Bill, let me talk. I'm not saying that, but I was saying it in the grand scheme of things. But what I was saying was, I want to see the whole thing through. Because I mean, maybe they gave him a slap on the wrist and everything because they know that the feds are coming and going to do their job for them. I don't know.
Well,
this is just me guessing.
Well, you think about this too, though. Who was harmed the most? I'm asking you a question, and I'll answer the question. Indiana. So they might have a suit against Texas Tech and Sorsby, because their reputation. You got to think about you harmed their reputation. That puts like a black mark on their national championship. You know what I'm saying? We had this guy prior to us going on a national championship run betting on our team and on our team. Yep. Okay? He harmed Indiana. Indiana should be going after them and Texas Tech with all steam ahead.
Yeah. If
I was Indiana, I'd be like, no, I ain't taking this land down. He harmed every player that was on that team, every future player that was on that's coming onto that team, and he defrauded their whole institution.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his parents knew that he was gambling in high school. He probably was gambling when he was playing PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this ain't something they can fix in 3 months. You see what I'm saying? You can't fix him in 3 months, and he's going to be just okie dokie to play a college football game. No. You know, so there's a lot of layers they have to peel back in order for it to make sense that this man plays one game in another game in college.
Yeah, the media's gonna eat him up.
Well, I need to swing this back to the NBA for a second because I felt kind of disrespected. You know what I mean? And I felt like the NBA let us down as fans. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because we lost a great player, a father, an announcer. I mean, this man played on the three-peat team, and people still chasing that.
Yeah.
But yet still wasn't a moment of silence. NBA, are you kidding me?
I was wondering the same thing. I'm glad you said that, man, because I was thinking, I said, this man did this and he ain't gonna get no respect for that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the NBA even thinks that Stacey was relevant and helped build their brand and revenue?
Yeah,
No.
he was like an ambassador. He would no. I take that back.
No,
man.
I mean, I'm just asking the question. I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rough Buck.
He was pretty much he was like an ambassador for Chicago, the city of Chicago. The man did a lot of work in Chicago. You know, I mean, he went nowhere unloved. So
let me ask you a question then. Why did not Pippen or Jordan? I haven't heard anything, a peep from any of his teammates.
Well, I just think that. Okay, go. I'm sorry, Manny. Go ahead. Go do it.
This is the reason why I'm calling everybody out. This is the reason why I'm calling everybody out, because that man, he wasn't Jordan, he wasn't Scottie Pippen, heck, he wasn't even Steve Kerr or Paxson. But through his rebounds, his effort, his hustle, and everything, he did help them.
He was OG on the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he might have been OG on the Knicks, but I'm just sticking with the Chicago.
No, I'm just saying he's OG from the Knicks.
Yeah.
He was the backbone for that Chicago team.
And I just
yeah.
Okay, I feel you. I feel what you're saying. But no, and it's like this. For the family of him, Stacey King, I feel your pain. We feel your pain here at About That Business. So at this point in time, before we close the show, we would like to give a moment of silence for Stacey King and let people know what he meant to us when we watched him ball, when we watched his hustle, when we watched his blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, I would like to give a moment of silence for the loss look, I'm getting emotional now. For the loss of Stacey King. He was a player. Yeah. He was a father. He was a brother. He was a son. So at this point in time, a moment of silence for Stacey King.
Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
And you know what I was thinking? Why in that moment of silence is how many young men he touched.
Exactly.
In that community, you know what I'm saying? And and the funny part is he never boasted.
No,
he was not. I got to be on ESPN. I got to do this. I got to do this to have my name out there. No, he did a lot of his stuff behind the scenes, and I think he impacted a lot more lives than we think he did.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And I think the NBA should be ashamed of themselves for not utilizing him like they did others. And I think it's sad that we have to do it, and I think it's really, really sad that Jordan and Pippen has not, and I might be wrong, that has not acknowledged it. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that they hear us out there. I hope that some of those Chicago fans really, really appreciate Nitty for bringing this out. And what say you guys? I want to hear from you, because when people do things and they don't want to be noticed about it, I think that's more admirable than if they are doing it to be seen.
Yep. That's why I said. That's why I said ambassador of Chicago.
That's where my respect comes.
Yeah. Much respect.
Go ahead, Rough Buck.
I just think that you're right, man. You touched on a good point, and so did you, Buckeye Bill. It's a shame that a person of his caliber and what he meant to the city, and of course, the kids in the community, they would at least acknowledge it some kind of way to say, "Hey, man, let's do this for this guy.
Right.
Let's have a not so much as a big parade, but let's get to a church and do a speech and say, hey, listen, this man did all this for our community. Let's give him a moment of silence."
And I'm sure the community is doing it, but it won't be televised.
It won't. So we don't know, but it's still. I still think then the NBA should just flash his picture over a screen and say, hey, let's congratulate, not congratulate, but acknowledge.
None of the outlets have said anything about it, and I've watched all the shows.
Well,
I've watched all the shows.
I seen First Take. First Take said something about it. They talked about it.
Okay, then I missed that then.
Yeah, the First Take.
I was at work at that one.
Huh?
I was at work with the First Take.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I didn't see it, and I, speaking of we already touched on that. So Chicago, stand up for your boy.
Absolutely.
We got y'all's back.
Yeah.
100%. NBA.
We about that business.
If I challenge the NBA. If I don't see a moment of silence or some respect out of the NBA this next game,
I know something.
That's bad.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see now Inside Edition. I want to see what they guys say because they set the tone for real. You ain't gonna stop them boys from talking. So I
inside NBA or what do you mean, like the NBA inside the NBA or something?
No, Inside Edition with Charles Barkley.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Inside the NBA.
Okay.
Oh, it's the Inside NBA. Okay, I thought it was I think I said that. Yeah, but Inside Edition, I said. My fault. I misspoke. But I want to see them get off into it, because hey, that man, because all of them played against him.
Exactly.
All of them played against him,
and that's true.
Yeah,
Shaq and I think Barkley definitely played against him.
Kenny Smith. Yeah.
And Kenny Smith had to play against him also. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
so it's just kind of bizarre that he hasn't been, he just hasn't been mentioned.
Yeah.
And like I said, can't make nobody do what they don't want to do, but it's kind of hard to overlook him, especially on a 3P team. And he was in The Last Dance.
Yep.
So so people know who he is. So acknowledge him is what I'm saying. Just acknowledge him. For the family. And for the city.
Yep. Bad five.
So I also want to say I appreciate y'all fellas. You know what I'm saying? Tonight was a lovely show again.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, wonderful topics. I love the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I hope we brought it, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, So, but to our village and to our people out there, like, comment, share, subscribe. And with that being said, peace and
soul, baby, soul.
We love you.
Love you too. Hey, love y'all, man.
Take the rest of the day off with pay. Holla at me, dog.
Synesthetic.
I'm trying to win my team a championship. I'm trying to win my team a championship. Let's go. Trying to win my team a championship. We all in the game, trying to get us some ranks and ballin' the play. Should I do what you can? Hey, Block is the name, BMG is the guy. Hey, yeah, but we working. Hey, yeah, but we working. Hey, practice make perfect. Hey, practice make perfect. Hey. trying to win my team a championship. Yeah, and we score every chance that we get. Take advantage of handles, it's all in the wrist. Got shooters on the squad, perfect aiming up Swiss. Got shooters on the squad, trying to win my team a championship. Everybody is playing their roles, they watch out post. I pick it.